So next we have the half angle formulas. So you can see here sine of u over 2 is 1 over 2 plus or minus, because we need to understand which quadrant we're in, square root 1 minus cosine u. So just to remind you, in the quadrants, here sine is positive, cosine is positive, tangent is positive. Here sine is, remember, sine is your y, sine is positive, cosine is your x, that's negative, and then tangent will be if these two match, so they don't match, so it's negative. Here sine, which is y, is negative, cosine, which is x, is negative, tangent, because these two match, is positive. And then here sine is negative, cosine positive, tangent negative. So whether we choose a plus or minus on this has to do entirely with whether or not, or which quadrant we need to do this in. So my example here, these are your formulas. My example here is sine 22.5. Well, this is 45 over 2 equals 22.5. So I am going to use u equals 45. And so I'm going to use the sine u. Now 22.5 is in this first quadrant, so my sign is going to be positive, so I'm going to choose the positive sign here. So sine 22.5 equals positive, because that's what I choose, 1 minus, now u is 45, so cosine u is square root 2 over 2, and then I divide all of this by 2. Okay, so I would get square root, and then square root 2 over 2, and I've got to deal with this 1 and the 2 in between, and I'd end up with 1/2 minus square root 2 over 4. Okay? Which is the same as the square root. And I'm going to combine these, and I'm going to get 2 minus square root 2 all over 4. Now there's not really a way I can go much farther. I can take the square root of the bottom, but I'm going to have the square root of 2 minus root 2 all over 4. Now you can plug this into your calculator, but it says find the exact value, and so this would be the exact value, because as soon as you round this, square root 2 is an irrational number, which means it would round, you'd have to round it no matter what you do. Even your calculator would round it. Therefore, this is the exact value. You can plug that into your calculator to get the actual value. And you should be able to plug this into your calculator and this into your calculator and find that they're fairly close.